I'm a productivity fan. I like getting things done too, but it's important we learn how to have a healthy relationship with productivity. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ams Chowdhury. I'm a junior doctor in London, the co-founder of Scrubbed In, and now an NHS clinical entrepreneur. So we live in a world where everything is so fast-paced. Most of us are working or studying, and alongside that we've got families, relationships, businesses, projects, side hustles, research, and just so much more to maintain. So it's important to have a healthy approach. Otherwise we just end up busy being busy, and really we just fall into the toxic traps of productivity. Now, in a very simple form, we look at productivity as getting stuff done, right? So the equation is usually productivity equals output over time. And there's various variations of that. Now, we as humans end up hitting the wall sometimes, and we fatigue and stall a little bit. And in those moments, we have a knee-jerk reaction and turn to even more productivity content. And we consume more and more, and it's an endless cycle of consumption. And that's it really. But there's one productivity tip that no one really talks about. And that's stop trying to be so productive. Paradoxical, I know, but give me a moment to explain. If you're watching this video, you probably make to-do lists, but have you ever felt that this list is actually endless, and now that there's a productivity element to every single thing that we do? Lunch is at the desk with a task, travel is plugged into our phones, consuming or delivering content, a walk is filled with tweeting or gramming, to give value to our audience. Hot food goes cold because, you have to get that content out on time. But how many of us give ourselves the time to do things just because we love it and because we just want to do it with no productivity seasoning to it? If you're a writer, you hit a writer's block. If you're an athlete, you get exhausted or injured even. If you're a musician, you fall out of tune. And if you're a content creator, you reach creation fatigue. What once filled you with endorphins are just now laborious tasks. And that's the toxicity of the constant desire of productivity in every single thing that we do. So the next question we ask is usually, how do we get out of this dip? And we turn to even more productivity hacks. So diaries, planners, minimalizing, locks, stopwatches, apps, and the list is really just endless. And then we start to consume even more information. We watch productivity videos, we read self-help books, we look into the lives of the great CEOs and listen to podcasts at 3 to 4x speed. But ask yourself, how much of it are you actually practicing, and how much of it is actually changing your life? To be honest, you're here for a productivity hack. So listen closely. The most powerful and commonly neglected productivity hacks are all the things that we consider as boring and not very impactful. That's eating well, sleeping well, exercising well, time for your hobbies, time invested into your relationships, time really just disconnected from the noise. It's important you give yourself that space and time. It's a time for you that doesn't get sacrificed or consumed by work or productivity. But you're probably not going to listen to this because it's boring and it sounds very unproductive. But after reflecting and doing a little bit of reading around this, I came up with 3 particular benefits for this, and you might want in on this. Number 1, energy. We need to feel alive in the things that we do. A lot of us, to be productive, are sacrificing sleep. One more email, one more video, one more paragraph, right? Now, Matthew Walker talks about the value of sleep and how it allows us to store, process, connect, make sense, and refresh us. He gives this example of Paul McCartney once actually waking up with a melody in his head that he thought someone else created. Now, there's a lot that we don't know about the brain and body, but what we do know is that it needs sleep to thrive. Another factor that affects energy levels is exercise. There's loads of papers on this. A group at the University of Georgia reported that exercise was associated with an increase in energy levels by 20% and a reduction in fatigue by 65%. I made a whole video on this 2 weeks ago, check it out. And finally, energy levels are linked to eating well. Nutrition and diet is so important, and doctors bang on about it. Think about it, have you ever scoffed down a cheat meal and noticed that you can't think, focus, and the task that you were supposed to do just gets delayed? So there you have it. For energy, you need to sleep well, eat well, and exercise well. Number 2, creativity. A lot of what we want to be productive in takes creativity. Simon Sinek talks about how creativity is something that's not on demand. You can't just be like, time to be creative. Rather, he talks about you have to ask yourself the questions and then give yourself the time to do something else that's not filled with work. And it allows your mind to sort of seek, wonder, and float. And we've all experienced it. We're in the shower or we're going for a walk and the idea just comes straight into your mind. Brian Daisley actually talks about how your brain's active in something called the default network, and that's where creativity essentially resides. So when you eat, don't eat with a task. When you're working out or exercising at the gym, you don't have to consume content. When you're traveling, disconnect, let yourself breathe. You don't have to consume or deliver anything at all. Allowing your mind to disconnect, wander and flow is important to allowing ourselves to excel when it comes to especially creativity. Number 3, probably the most important when it comes to living a fulfilling life. If you do all of those things that are listed before, you get to be present. I feel with this productivity cult that's growing that it's forcing people into becoming these homogeneous, zombified beings that just do, busy being busy. They don't actually feel, exist and pour emotion and passion into their endeavors. They're not present at all. When you're present, you get to engage your emotion, your creativity, your positive energy and skill, and I feel that it really allows you to reach the pinnacle of productivity. You'll find yourself enjoying the process more and ticking that list off more easily, and you'll actually find that the outcome or the product that you create is actually extremely unique to you. Let your mind and body do more for you than just run. Don't let the constant desire for productivity blur your purpose, drive out your passion and kill your fulfillment. Ali Abdaal has his productivity equation as useful output over time multiplied by the fun factor. So keep the fun factor alive. So there you have it. The secret to productivity is stop trying to be productive in everything and just give yourself a break.